We're good? All right, let's begin with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Welcome everybody to the November 12th Marion County Commission meeting. Before we begin, just a couple quick comments. I'd like to extend our appreciation to all the veterans in recognition of Veterans Day. Mr. Crowfoot, veteran. Do we have any other veterans in the room? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you to all the veterans for their service to our country. Secondly, thank our poll workers for the election, and actually everybody in your office. And congratulations to the winners in the election. We'll get into more details as we get into the administrative report. All right, with that, we'll move into public forum. Any public comments?
I think I will say something.
State your name, please.
Arlene Sticka. I'm going to stand if you don't mind.
Okay.
I have an issue with this decision that was made on the docks out at the county lake. I feel that as a taxpayer, more taxpayers should have been involved, and we're not just looking at those living around Marion, we're looking at those that live in the whole county of Marion County. I should say I feel, and maybe others feel the same way, is that the county is taking too much responsibility for those docks, even though the county does not own them. From a survey that Isaac had done, he said there were 82 docks out there, 42 responses, 11 wanted to be privatized, the rest evidently didn't make any difference, which is fine. But I feel the responsibility of the docks should fall on the owner of those docks. Those that want to privatize, let them privatize. And the county can always charge, whether you want to call it a lease or rent or whatever, for that space that their dock is occupying. And if they're willing to do that, let them do that. Leave the responsibility on the owner and quit trying to take over everybody's responsibility. If there's a dock that gets damaged, why did they come running after the lake director? Why did they do that? County doesn't have any responsibility for that. They take that on when they decide to put that dock on the lake. And we know the county's not going to pay for any damage, are they? If they're not going to pay for the damage, then why are you taking responsibility for it? I just feel that people should, if they want to have a dock and they're willing to pay something to have their dock on the lake, let them do that. And stay out of it. As far as putting signs, which I understood that was going to be something that was going to be done on each dock, who pays for those signs? County? Where does the county get their money from? Taxpayers? Why? I don't use those stinking docks, so why should I be out of my taxes? Why should I be paying to have signs posted? I don't have any problem with the 11 p.m. curfew signs that you were talking about. I don't have a problem with that. But I think the county is sticking their neck out too far, waiting for an accident to happen and then get their necks chopped off. And I know the county probably has insurance, but you know what? At some point, the taxpayer's going to get dinged.
Thank you.
And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Okay, anyone online wishing to make comments, unmute your microphone. Okay, not seeing anything, we'll close public forum, move into agenda approval. We need an executive session on property acquisition. Okay. Have an executive on property acquisition.
Not elected.
Anything else to add to the agenda? If not, the agenda is approved. We'll move into administrative. Ashley.
Okay. First, I have the minutes of October 28th and the 31st.
The Commission's had a chance to review any corrections or changes. If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gehring,
Second.
second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Thank you.
And then I have early checks in the amount of $31,924.42.
Any questions? If there's no questions, is there a motion to approve?
Make that motion to approve. 31,000. Second.
Commissioner Dalkey, second by Commissioner Becker. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
And that is all I have.
All right, administrator.
Okay, in your packet, you had the administrative report. And then in the supplemental packet, I sent some additional information to go along with that. Does anyone have questions about the report? Okay. I do have an agenda item on here for Darren to come and present the information on 290th, so I'm gonna hold off on that part of the information in your packet. This morning we did receive a pay request for the health department. And so the current amount due is $308,020.14. And I'll pass this down. If you all wanna take a look, you can. This is signed off by the architect, so.
Yeah.
You know, do they consider themselves to still be on schedule?
We had an official 5-day delay because of change in low voltage contracting, so that is what they're saying right now. I would be surprised if we actually make it on time though, with the 5 days.
Just from viewing.
Yeah. I mean, my honest opinion is we're probably running a little behind, so.
Any other questions? Not, is there a motion to approve?
I'd make that motion to approve the Payment.
We have a motion from Commissioner Dalkey to approve, I believe it's.
I'll second it.
Application number 6, second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Questions?
Budget, what's the budget look like so far?
So far, we're on track.
Other questions? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. I abstain. Motion carried 4 in favor, 1 abstain.
Received an email from Barney and Associates. I just wanted to confirm with the board that you want to engage them for this current year's audit. Their proposed price is not to exceed $19,900, which is a reasonable amount for our audit.
Is that what, is it up from last year though?
Last year, we actually asked for proposals, and
No, it's been a few years,
Been a
but
couple of years.
I was gonna say, the last time I remember though, they blew everybody
They
up.
were a bit under what we had on that proposal.
I can look for it real quick, I'll tell you.
That's all right, you can let me know later.
Okay. It's a similar amount. Since you asked, I'll just look it up real quick. Maybe, there we go. Yeah, it was 19,900 last year also, and the previous year it was 20,900.
Thank you. Your recommendation be to continue with Barney?
Yes, it would be for this, at least for this year.
Any other questions? If not, is there a motion to approve
So moved.
Barney as the auditing attorney, auditor? Motion by Commissioner Becker, second. Second by Commissioner Gehring. Discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
And then in your packet, in the supplemental packet, you have the information for the proposed holiday and payday schedules for 2025.
Commission have any questions on the schedule?
Did we vote on them before?
In the past you have, yes.
Adding that.
Oh,
No, it wouldn't be adding anything new.
I move that we approve the holidays as presented to us.
okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Crowfoot to approve the holiday schedule as presented. Is there a second? Second. Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
Did you want to go ahead and approve the payday schedule also, or do you want to wait until? Like, I think that we may still want to survey for whether we want to pay every once a month or every 2 weeks, but we can always adopt a revised schedule later. So,
That was gonna be my question, how do we get to a,
If you do change, it's probably not gonna be changed by the first of the year. So adopt a schedule for the year, and then if decision is made to change, you can change the schedule.
You want to do a survey with the employees?
well, that is one of the things that I was going to do as part of the decision-making process of whether we change that schedule. So, there are some other things we need to research as far as capers and some of our reporting.
It's not gonna change your payday though, is it? I mean, at the end of the month?
Well, yes, I would change the payday from once a month to twice a month if we make.
And you're not gonna come in and have to,
First and 15th.
it'll be
we're just gonna sign off at the end of the month then, wouldn't we?
every other Monday?
I would say it would be every 2 weeks, you would have a payday to sign.
sign off on that then.
How's that gonna affect the clerk's office if you go to bi-weekly?
I don't think it has much impact. So, but again, that's something that we haven't made a decision on, so it would be, I would appreciate it if we could do an approval now, and then if we need to do a revision, then for that, we could.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the payroll schedule for 2025.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Becker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gehring. Questions or discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0.
And this is more of this is just a point of information for you all. The longevity plan, we will have the longevity payments for approval for our next Monday's meeting. And I think that's all I have until the next agenda item at 1.
The commission has talked about doing an RFP for county councilor. We
Sorry.
talked about it, that's right. Several months ago, Tina had given us an outline of that proposal several months ago. You have a written copy that's the same as what was reviewed at that time. Is the commission interested in pursuing the RFP?
Yeah.
So is there a motion to approve the RFP for county councilor?
So one thing to note in there, the effective date of the new contract would be April 1st, I believe, which is the current counselor, like, that's when that current contract.
Make a motion, we go ahead and approve the RFP.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Gehring, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dalkey. Discussion, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0. Did that conclude administrative?
Yes, thank you.
Just a couple things. Election again, Ashley, thank you for everything that your office has done. The canvas will be Friday at 9 a.m. That'll be the
9 a.m.
So Friday at 9 a.m. is the canvas. That'll be the official results.
Correct.
At that time, those candidates elected will be contacted, especially from a commission, newly elected commission members. There's some training opportunities statewide, and we'll also be doing some orientation here in the county. But we'll be contacting you next week to get all that put into place. Okay, all right. I think that concludes administrative. Sharon?
Deep in thought.
Schedule they gave us. They gave us a sheet of
Hi, Sharon.
Good afternoon.
It is.
before they was posed in the beginning.
Closer than it looks, but.
Yeah.
I believe our applicant will be joining online. James.
No, there he is.
There he is.
Great.
James.
James, can you hear us?
Yep, loud and clear.
Great. Okay, we can hear you. We're ready to start the CUP application process, or the review.
Sorry, let me get my stuff together here. Bear with me, I'm losing my voice today.
It's going around. The way it sounds.
Struggling.
Yeah. Okay, so, James Cardinal submitted a CUP application on behalf of the Towers LLC and Uke, and Company for a 355-foot communications tower and the associated ground equipment. The protest period has passed since the public hearing. Public hearing was held on October 24th.
It was noticed in the paper, and landowner notices went out on October 2nd of 2024. I believe you all received your packet in the mail, and hopefully you were able to open it. I know sometimes these construction files come in a little, they take up quite a bit of bandwidth or whatever you call it. So this tower is proposed to be just north of the city of Durham and in the southwest corner of that intersection at 290th and Highway K15. We did not receive any negative public comments. Did you get a copy of the minutes?
Commission have a chance to review the minutes.
There was maybe one public comment in those minutes, which I think was more of a question. And then we received the NEPA Section 106 review back from SHPO and THPO, and they had no historic properties in the direct or visual area of potential effects. So for those of you who speak English, that's a good thing. Also, Steve Schmidt commented, he submitted public comment. He pays special attention to the Santa Fe Trail Association and the National Park Service. So speaking on, not on behalf of the Santa Fe Trail Association, but just familiar with the FCC regulations. And he also noted that the proposed tower would not physically impact the Santa Fe Trail, and that any viewshed impacts would be minimal and would comply with the FCC guidelines. So the recommendation of the Planning Commission was to approve the conditional use permit as stated in the staff report with the conditions listed. And if you'd like for me to go through those, I can.
Yes, if you would,
Sure.
since you have your voice is doing so well today.
With a gum and a little bit of water, we'll make it through this.
All right.
Okay, so the conditions would be that the location of the tower must be such that it is at least an equal distance from all property lines as it is in height. And according to their plans, it does show that. All lighting necessary to comply with FAA lighting requirements shall consist of dual lighting structures with daytime strobe lights on medium intensity and nighttime red lights only. No high intensity strobes or nighttime strobes shall be permitted. Further, all towers requiring lighting shall provide battery backup or other alternative power source to assure lighting operations during times of power outages. I guess I could go back. You may have read in the staff report or in the plans that there is a 50 by 50 foot compound that would include their ground equipment, their ancillary equipment, and it's also a guide wire tower. So it would have the 3 guide wires coming off of the tower. Okay, so back to the conditions. If unused for a period of 12 months or more, the structure shall be declared abandoned, and the applicant or property owner shall be required to remove the tower and appurtenances. All above ground improvements must be removed, and the underground improvements must be removed to a depth of 3 feet. The affected grounds shall be restored to a use compatible with surrounding use. Details for site reclamation should be recorded in an executed lease agreement with the property owner and leaseholder or tower owner, and that can be provided. Mr. Cardinal has a copy of that. Strict adherence to the development plan of record is required. The tower and associated infrastructure shall be built and or installed according to the manufacturer's recommendations. Adherence to all applicable federal, state, and local regulations is required. And mitigation for the interference or obstruction of existing local communications towers shall be the responsibility of the applicant. Do you have any questions for Mr. Cardinal or myself?
I don't know if he can answer, but how far, or what distance could we expect improved communication?
Did you hear that question, James?
I did, and I don't have a definite answer because there's so many factors that go into that: topography, the trees in the area, valleys, so many. Engineers don't tell me, but I would, 5 to 10 miles, and it will drop off, out from there gradually. But there's so much depending on that. I can't give you a definite answer.
There's a lot of dead area out there.
How does the
That's
height
true.
of that tower compare to, well, there's one southwest of Durham also.
I think 355 to 385 is pretty typical for a communications tower.
Because, you start thinking about cell phone towers and they're much lower.
Right. And along that tower, where the antennas are placed on the actual tower itself also affect where it reaches.
This one will be available to be rented out from different companies or not?
It is built out to where they can co-locate in the future with other companies. And I believe this particular tower was built out for Verizon to utilize at this
That's
point.
true. Yeah, Verizon's the first tenant on there that it was being built for, and it's built to accommodate 3 other carriers in the future if they come to the towers and request.
Any other questions? Okay. If not, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Commissioner Becker made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Discussion or questions? If not, all in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0. James, we want to thank you, especially those of us in that area that have poor service. We appreciate expanding into that to fill that need.
My pleasure, and thank you for your time. And hopefully, I'll be, putting towers up around the area to fill that. Because when I work in that area, it's pretty sparse for coverage.
What resolution?
2024-25.
Trying not to hack all over.
It is a rough.
Just some more than those stuff.
I think everybody's got 1 or 2 of those now.
Yeah, I've sat about everywhere.
I even have one. Yay.
We all take one at the same time.
Pocket full.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you. And again, thank you, James. I appreciate the Regional Commission's work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this will become effective after the resolution is published in the newspaper. Just information for James.
Okay, very good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Darren. Perfect.
Okay, so in your packets, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, yes. I've got 2 items for you. This is to finalize the 290th project. The first one's change order. This is a final change order. You can see on the screen there, this is going to be for a decrease of $79,559.25. This is just a adjustment to the as-built quantities. So we had some extra quantities built in there for contingency purposes. We didn't end up needing them all. And so we're actually able to reduce the final contract price will be the $2,104,515.75. We did give them 4 extra working days for the couple of the change orders that happened along the way, that big concrete spillway they found they had to take out and such. I'll bring this up now, and when we get to the final pay estimate, I'll show you there too. But they did go over on days, so we did assess liquidated damages. So even though we gave them 4 days back for a couple of things that did happen, we still charged them 8 liquidated damage days, and I'll show that on the final on the final contract. But that number's included in this too. So just asking for the passage of this final change order just to as constructed quantities.
Questions for Darren? I don't think there's too much heartburn when that comes in.
I'd much rather walk in here at the end and say, hey, guess what? Here's $80,000 back.
Yes. Again, any other questions? If not, I would approve the final change order on the 290th reconstruction project. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Becker. Questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0. Are you seeing any issues?
Well, okay, if you want to go to the pay estimate though.
Yep.
Okay, so here on the pay estimate, that's the next document. That's just the rest of the change order. Okay, here's the final pay estimate. You'll see down there at the bottom, the total due to the contractor was the $2,104,515. And you'll see down there a couple lines of liquidated damages is $1,000 a day, another $8,000. So technically that 79,000 number, actually it's 8,000 more than that the county's actually going to spend. So that we had to adjust the quantities first, and then you're just paying them, not paying them the last 8,000 on the contract. So pay estimate 3 in this case is it will reduce will pay out the final contract value to $762,682.68. So that's the $2,104,000 minus what we already previously paid them, minus the $8,000 liquidated damages that we're going to withhold from them.
Questions? I'd approve the final pay estimate on the 290th Road reconstruction project. Is there a second? Second, Commissioner Becker. Questions, discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion carried 5-0.
And I'll answer your other question.
We'll get there.
Yeah, so Steve asked us about this when we went up and took a look. Just wet, but so I never can remember the name of that street. Is it Wichita Street in Lincolnville? There's the co-op, not the last one. There's an intermediate one that's up there between the co-op and that very one that goes to the ball fields. Yeah. So starting at the co-op entrance for about 80 or 90 feet, we're getting some longitudinal cracks. We saw the same thing happen up on 330th years ago when we redid that. The difference here is we're getting 2 of them parallel. We're not getting rutting. We're not getting anything else. We're just getting those longitudinal cracks. They had the problems down on 140th that Pearson came back and fixed one time. We're starting to see that happen, which is a whole different thing. But when Pearson's going to have to come back again and do another patch, we said, hey, let's wait till the spring down there, see if we start seeing more. We don't want to make you come back every 2 weeks for the next 6 months. And never can figure out what's going on down there. This one up here, the base is not moving. You can tell that. And the cracks are just hairline. So why it had a tendency just to tear, it's not even torn, it's just not moving apart. It's got a crack in it. What we did up on 330th, and this is what we're going to do as an immediate recommendation unless we see it start moving, is we're just going to have them seal those cracks. We did that up on 330th to this day. Those cracks have never opened up any wider. And we keep them sealed and no moisture in them, no base problems, no issues. So we're going to recommend that to Pearson and watch it here in the same duration we're watching 140th. If we hit spring, March, April, we reevaluate before they come back to do the repair and we're starting to see something else happen, then they're going to be responsible to come in and do it. Approving this and closing this out does not alleviate them from that because you still have the 1 year period. So we're just going to make sure Steve's kind of keeping an eye on it. We're keeping an eye on it. We're going to make sure we don't have any other issues. Also, somewhere around that 9-10 month point, I go and drive these projects at a real slow speed just to see if there's anything else going on, because that still gives us a couple months to report it back to the prime contractors to say, hey, we got an issue going on, you're still in your 1 year period. There's plenty of time to get it fixed. And we send that in writing.
So it's divided the first year with crack sealing, but 6 months after the year period, and something starts developing then with it.
Well, it kind of depends. If it's something new, then we're kind of out of luck. If it's something like this that we saw happening and we said, hey, let's try this, but it's on record that we tried it and then that didn't hold up or didn't work, then a lot of times legally, if you got into a legal battle, I don't know where that would actually head. Most of these contractors do enough work around the state and want to stay in everybody's good graces that they're willing to work with you, try to make sure they get it right. So, which, Pearson, in both cases, asphalt wise, plus the other companies who were here this summer were all very reputable Kansas contracting asphalt companies. So I don't anticipate that they're gonna be the ones that are gonna leave you hanging high and dry. If in both cases, it seems like it's an asphalt issue. So, 'cause the base is nothing's going wrong with the base. So.
We do have one more document in regard to this project, and it is just the application for the reimbursement of the state portion, which is $1 million, which is the maximum that they will reimburse. So we want to improve that.
I forgot about that one because you've been handling those, so I didn't.
Need to sign that, huh?
If you want your money back from KDOT, yeah.
All right, I would move to submit the request for reimbursement from the Economic Development Program from the Kansas Department of Transportation, the amount of $1 million. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 5-0.
On that one, I'm gonna hold on.
Glad we didn't miss that one.
Yeah, me too.
You need to sign.
All right.
The product is very good.
Check next.
Well
done.
as soon as we put down, conjunctively between those two projects, we did, 9 miles? Almost 10 miles of total asphalt, and to have less than 300 or 400 feet with some kind of issue is pretty good. If KDOT could get those proportions, they'd be very happy. We start talking larger highway jobs, so it's just the nature of our construction materials. As fast as we're trying to do them anymore, there's going to be little things that just we wouldn't be able to get 100% perfect. So,
Very good. Anything else for us?
not right now.
Any other questions? Well, Darren, we appreciate it.
I know one of the things Steve had asked me to do, so you guys know, we're still gonna be putting together recommendations and cost estimates on those next 3 sections. I told Steve I'd try to have those up by the first of the year, up to you guys, so. All right,
Very good.
thank you.
All right. That concludes the general business part of the agenda. Now we move into our executive session. Tina slipped out. So, do what?
I said I'm gonna take a recess.
Okay. How about we take a 5-minute recess and then we'll come back and tackle the executive sessions. Those that are having coughing issues, please don't share. Keep it to yourself. Yeah.
Made me sick.
Well, at least you weren't standing out in the rain like somebody else.
All right. We're back on.
Okay, recess is over. We need an executive session on personnel performance. And how long would you like?
Probably 15 minutes.
15 minutes? Would yours fall under that one?
Yeah, just,
So how long would you like?
that's fine. I'm sure I could squeeze
Yeah.
it
I
in.
think we can do both probably.
Squeeze it in.
Let's make it 20 or make it 15.
I don't need a whole 15 minutes.
Okay, let's make it
probably,
15.
so.
My sheet. I move that we recess the executive session in order to discuss personnel performance pursuant to KSA 75-4319B, personal matters, non-elected personnel performance, with Commission Brad and Tina for 15 minutes, 1:15 to 1:30. Second by Commissioner Garing. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried 5-0, back at 1:30.
Okay.
Okay, we are out of executive session, no decisions made. I would like to make a motion. I would like to move to appoint Chuck Kinney as interim director for the emergency medical services, retroactive to November 5th.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dalkey. Questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried, 5-0. Brad, did you have something for us?
One item today, because it's, and I've already caught Sharon, and we had a short conversation about it because we're a unified road system. I haven't talked with Road and Bridge at all, but this came up. We have a shared and contiguous roadway on Osage with Harvey County. Today it came up there. There's still a township system, and the township came in, made a request that be reduced to a no maintenance or low maintenance roadway. From what it is now, there's opposition, I will be candid, from some residents, one of them who was there and did a good presentation. They have instructed that a resolution be prepared and brought to them per my recommendation to send it to planning and zoning, which is the same issue that you would have here. But it will kind of come directly to you, and it won't be, there's no township for them to go to, which would be typically where they would start. Rather than doing that, they would bring that request here, and I think someone will intend to do that. Just wanted to give you that heads up and get a sense of whether the inclination, which is what I would also recommend here, is you kick it over to planning and zoning and let them take a look at it and take input as well from the landowners on Harvey County's side of that road, because I think there's real interest. It's not one of those where the only people using it are the farmers who've got the land next door. They were mentioning there are a lot of bus routes issues and other services, and even BNSF in terms of how they block things over there. A lot of it's new to me. I have not gone and taken a look at this one, but wanted you to have that information. And I think probably they'll make that request, and my recommendation is going to be that we do the same thing. I bring in the resolution, send it to planning and zoning. You've made no commitment. You're just saying, we want you to look at this and give us a recommendation as to what would be appropriate or best in terms of action on that.
I don't know their roads, but this is between 40th and 50th?
I believe so,
County?
yeah. I just heard about it for the first time this morning. It took me a little bit of time to acclimate, but then once we realized, well, wait a minute, that's half of it is Marion, half of it is Harvey. Then to make it more interesting, the way we've done that historically is 1 mile is maintained by Harvey, 1 mile is maintained by Marion, and so on along there. This one is the Harvey County one, but that doesn't change the jurisdictional approach to it, and the fact that technically 1/2 of that road is still yours to maintain and deal with.
I called Steve on that because there is some farmers that, due to the next mile in Marion County to the east, that has a railroad track with a curve like this.
Mm-hmm.
And due to that, they can't get some of their equipment over that intersection, but they can where this one is because it's like this. So that was my first call, and I said, I don't know whose it is. I said, I just have to call Steve and see whose it is. And that was 2 weeks ago or 3 when that happened.
And you add to that the fact that the interested citizens have spent a lot of time on this, and the way that BNSF uses that, they park kind of like over by Sedgwick in different places. They park a train on there for an hour or more, and it creates all kinds of issues with how do you get around. If this roadway were not even marginally maintained, if it becomes impassable, they got huge problems. So I wanted to make you aware of that.
Keep bringing us
Yep.
information. Keep
Yep,
us
I'll go back next week with that resolution and report back next week here.
So I need to call the farmer that called me so that we can find out any more farmers, just to alert them that there's discussion.
Yeah, that the request has been made on the Harvey County side and formally brought to, by the township, in that case, to the county commission today.
Okay.
Next week, the resolution will go up, and basically all it is to direct that it go to planning and zoning, which I'm reasonably confident will pass. And then they will be studying it. Planning and zoning here will need to do the same thing in order to make a determination and bring you a recommendation.
Marion County farmers need to be at the Harvey County.
They asked that, and I said, that's up to you. You're a stakeholder with half that road, so, and we're not gonna do anything that isn't going to, because I got asked that right away, well, what happens if one county wants to and the other doesn't? So then by default, if it's not unanimous between the two counties, it's not gonna happen, because we're not gonna say, okay, well, half the road is no longer maintained and the other half is, that's not gonna work. So,
But by the same token, having 1 mile in one county and 1 mile in the other county,
yeah.
it's still shared, it's still
Yeah,
not
that's-
appropriate.
that's
Well,
it.
okay, our county,
It doesn't-
we're all minimum maintenance.
It doesn't, it doesn't change the statutory jurisdictional definition.
Yes, okay. Okay, good. Interesting, hadn't had that one before.
Yeah, it came up cold today, I didn't know about it.
Okay, well, we got a process in place. Yeah. All right, I think the only thing left was an executive session on property acquisition, probably 5 minutes, be enough?
Sure.
I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss preliminary property acquisition pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 6, preliminary discussion acquisition of real estate. Commission Brad and Tina, 5 minutes, 1:36 to 1:41. Second by Commissioner Balky, all in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carried to go back at 1:41. Okay, out of executive session, no decisions made. Let's take a look at the calendar. Next meeting is
Friday.
Canvas is the 15th, 9 o'clock. Next meeting is the 18th, 12:30. Payday will be the 27th.
And that's the only meeting that week because of, since it's on a Wednesday, we don't have a Monday meeting.
And the holidays after.
During the holidays. So then do we have one December 1st? December 2nd?
Yes.
AC is the
Christmas
third
parties
one.
and we leave.
Well, that's one, I guess that's something we need to talk about.
They were so healthy.
Thank you. The Christmas party. We still want to have a Christmas party. And
That day to ask.
yeah, we've been talking about it just a little bit, but
People enjoy it, the ones that come anyway.
The lake hall's available 21st and 28th. The city hall is available 7th.
That doesn't give you much time.
We did have a wonderful entertainment last year.
Yes,
That
it
was-
was. Very nice.
Appreciated that.
We always ask the fairgrounds, it's heated and cooled now, and we spotted them some money to put in the heating and cooling, so.
That's true.
yeah, that's a thought. We were thinking of potentially having the Brandon Iron cater.
Ooh.
We were just gonna try to go there, but they've reduced their seating, and so I think it might be difficult to.
We do ours on the 7th there.
Oh, yeah. How many people do you have?
I think we got too many. I think Cody says we don't. We got 60.
Oh, yeah, you should be
Really?
okay.
Gonna be spread out.
Specialized in steak and shrimp, just saying.
Okay.
I see the sport proceeding with it.
Okay. It may be just a little bit more simple this time, just maybe dinner and some more prizes maybe, and
Good to me.
Very good. Okay, anything else? Well, I move to adjourn. Second by Commissioner Gehring. All those in favor say aye. All opposed nay. Motion carried 5-0. We are adjourned. Oh. And I'm moving away.